Okay, hi guys. This is Roshan again with another video on YouTube on the coding conversation with some another friend of mine. His name is Kesav, and he's doing his BTech in NIT Jaipur. He likes to do these online coding challenges, and then this video is going to be all about, the video with Kesav is going to be all about, solving online challenges in the real time. By saying that, I'd like to hand over mic to Keshav. Now he's going to show us what kind of problem or what problem he's going to choose. He's also going to talk about the platform that he's going to use to solve the problem, and then uh, write the code for that. And then, yeah, let's just get started and then see. So, hi, Keshav.
Hi, Roshan.
So, yes, what are we going
Yeah,
to do today?
I have chose one of the questions from HackerRank. I think it's easier for beginners to do from HackerRank at the starting. So I would prefer this question. You can see here the difficulty is easy. I have chosen an easy question for the starting. And if we solve this question successfully, we will get a maximum score of 25. And I would prefer to use the ID of this HackerRank only. I find quite convenient and easy to use this. So I have just expanded this, and so we can see the question and the coding side by side. Is it fine?
Yeah, perfect. To me, I think, yeah, this is clear
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. So let's go through the question once. So Flatland is a country with a number of cities, some of which have space stations. Cities are numbered consecutively, and each has a road of 1 kilometer length connecting it to the next city. It is not a circular route, so the first city doesn't connect with the last city. Determine the maximum distance from any city to its nearest space station. Okay. For example, there are n is equal to 3 cities, so n is the number of cities here, and m is equal to one of them has a space station. Okay, so m gives the number of space stations to us. They occur consecutively along a route. City 2 is 2 minus 1 is equal to 1 unit away, and City 3 is 3 minus 1 is units away. Because simply so it wants to say that the distance from one city to another city, if we subtract each other, we will get the distance. So let's see the function that we have to complete. It says complete the flatline space stations function in the editor below. It would return an integer that represents the maximum distance any city is from a space station. First line spaces has the following parameters and the number of cities as we have discussed earlier. See an integer array that contains the indices of cities with a space station, one best indexing. Okay, so simply so we read here that m is equal to 1 space stations. So C will be an array which will give the array of space stations in which the cities have. Okay. So in input format, we'll have the first line consists of two spaced integers n and m. The second line consists m spaced integers, the indices of the each city. Okay. And then we have two output print an integer denoting the maximum distance that an astronaut in a flatland city would never need to travel to reach the nearest space station. Okay, Roshan, how much did you understand the question?
I think it's a little confusing to me. Maybe if we could, draw in some draw
Okay.
and then show it like
Okay, first we will try
our
to
and
understand from this graph only that is here. Can you see this?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The linking graph. So
yeah.
simply here n is the number of cities. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There
Okay.
are cities, and then m is the number of space stations. So some cities might have the space stations. So here in this case, 0 and 4 has the space station, as you can see that are highlighted. So now we have to find the distance from each city to the space station. For example, if we choose city 1, then the distance to space station, nearest space station will be 1, since 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. Okay, can you get this? Is it clear?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think
Okay,
this is much clearer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like similarly, if we choose city 3 and we have to find the distance from the nearest space station, it will be 4 minus 3, 1. So you can see here we have to always find the absolute value since it's a distance. So the nearest space station is 1 kilometer away from city 3. Now if we come to city 2, we have two options. Either we can go to 0 or we can go to 4 because both are in equidistant. So the distance from 2 to 0 is also 2, and distance from 2 to 4 is also 2. So we can see here. Now the question asks us not to find the minimum distance, but to find the maximum of the minimum distance. I think it's quite confusing, right? So it simply says we find the distance from each city to the nearest space station. Among those all the distance, we have to find the maximum. What will be the maximum distance that anyone have to travel? Is it clear now?
Okay, I think I kind of get it. So if I understand this question clearly, we have two inputs, n
Yeah.
and m.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say n is, if you just consider this example, if n is 5, then we have 0 index cities. That
Yeah.
means we have cities from number 0 to number
4.
4,
Yeah.
right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then now comes another term m,
Mm-hmm.
and for m we would need a list of numbers, right?
Yeah.
That consists of all the details
Sorry.
of
Yeah.
where the is it
Mm.
satellite or something?
Yeah. Space
What is it?
stations basically. Anything.
Yeah, space stations, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many space stations are there? So we have one n variable, one m variable, and we have an array that contains the information about n m variable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then now the second thing you just explained is, so we find out the minimum distance to the space station from each and every city,
Yeah.
and once we have the list of all the distances, we take the
Mm-hmm.
maximum out of that array,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah. So I think
Okay.
it's clear. Okay, Roshan, I would like to request you to keep the link of this question in the video down. So if anyone want to access it, they can do that.
Yeah, sure. That would actually help. So I will just copy the link of this problem statement and then paste it in the just below the video. If you want to go and have a look at the problem, you can always do that from there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm pretty much clear about the question, but now I wonder how would you solve the problem. That's the
Okay. Like,
tough.
I would like to share what approach I would like to take while solving this question. Like, as soon as I see this question, I feel I will have to use two, three functions more often. Like, since I said we have to find the maximum of the minimum distances, so I think max function would be used quite often in this question. So there is some approach that like to explain also while I go through the solving the question. So I think let's jump into the code part. So while doing that, we can easily explain the approach also. Is it fine?
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see on right hand side this screen where some code is written. So according in HackerRank, basically there is only one function given most of the time. Like you can see here int flat space station, and we have to complete this function and return some integer that would do the work for us. But for now I would like to delete all this and start from very scratch so that we have the basic idea of solving a question, writing a C++ code. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So we are using C++ language, which is quite convenient and most recommendable to solve these questions, this type of questions. So in first I would like to include one library bit/stdc++.h. If you have not heard about this library, it is like lifeline of C++ language because it includes all kind of libraries that we have in C++. So once if you include this library, you don't have to include anything else. And after including this, we use using namespace std. Okay, and then uh, we have to use main function
Uh,
and
okay, so how about for people using some other languages? Is it possible to use HackerRank to
yeah,
code
yeah.
in Python or say
Like
Java? Or,
if I go here change theme in by side, you can see here C++ 14, right? So if I
yeah.
just roll down, you can see all languages: C, C++, Java, C, PHP, Ruby, Python, Perl. Malab, you can find any language are convenient to. A lot of them. Look, Python, Py3, Py2, anything. Kotlin. So in whichever language you are comfortable, you can always choose that. But what I mean to say is like we generally recommend C++ for this kind of questions. Else you can
Okay.
use any language that you are comfortable with. That's no issue.
Okay. Okay. So this video could be actually useful for someone who doesn't code in C++ as well, if they just understand how the algorithm works, right?
Yeah, I'm going to explain. Shall I explain the minute details also?
Uh, let's go with the flow. If I feel like I get confused somewhere, then I'll just ask you questions wherever I'm confused, and
Sure,
let's
sure.
just keep moving on. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I just opened my main function int main. Now let's look at the question. We had two variables int sorry n and m that gave us the number of cities and number of space stations. So let's first declare two variables n and m. Sorry, I'm sorry. We have to separate these variables with a comma. Now we have to get the input. So in C++, we have a very simple function cin, and we can take in the inputs. We have taken the input now. Now we have a array C that will give us the number of space stations. Cities, we have the space stations. So I'll just declare that very array, sorry, m, because there is the m number of space stations. Now I have to input all the space stations. I'll include them using a for loop. It clear it here?
Yeah. This is perfect. So we have handled all the inputs, right? We
Yeah,
have
we have
n,
handled all the inputs.
and then we also have all the information about how many space stations are there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So now we need to see distance. Okay. So in this question, we'll have some cases. Okay. Like let's say if we have only one city, we have only one city, so obviously we will have only one space station. So in first case, I would like to say if m is equal to 1. Before this, let's declare a variable called ans. It will be easier to store our answer and then print in last at once. If m is equals to 1, always our answer will be 0 for obvious reason, and we not to go all through the process the algorithm we're going to write, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at this question, wait, I think it will be easier if I use some kind of visual thing. Let me use online paint that will give a clear visual. So I can draw here. Yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have in this particular case we have 5 cities which is from 0 to 1 2 3 4, and let's take the example only. We have 0 and 4 two cities, all right, which have space stations. Now, if we had only one city that I already sold, then obviously we didn't have to use any calculation. We can directly say there will be distance of 0 because we have to travel from this city to only this city. Or in other words, we don't have to travel only. So directly we mentioned this line and said that answer will be 0. We don't have to travel.
Um, I think I'm a bit confused over there because let's
Mhm.
say so you mean that if the value of m is 1, then answer is always 0. What if n is 5? Like
Okay,
say
okay, okay. Sorry, sorry.
there are
This, this
5.
I made it confusing. Okay, let's take this
Okay.
case. If n is equals to 1,
Okay.
if n is equals to 1, then obviously m will be 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to rectify my code. I'm sorry, I had to do n is equals to 1. I did m is equals to 1, I guess. Sorry, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I have only one city, if I have only one city, I need not to care about anything else. It's simply that I will have only one space station or not. The distance will be 0. We don't have to go
Okay.
through other algorithms. Now, if m is equals to 1, like I'm trying to just analyze different scenarios that I might have with my question. So when I'm writing code, I can have the optimum code from my side. So if m is equals to 1, for example, in 1 2 3 4, if m is equals to 1, let's say it's 3 and in 1. So
Okay.
we can see clearly that there is only two operations that we have to do. We have to find from this city to this, right? Distance from first city to 3 and distance from last city to 3. This will give me two distances, and then calculating the maximum of these two distances will give me the answer. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So let me include this So I will use else if m is equals to 1. Okay. Now here I will initiate this answer with 0. So I'm going to use max function frequently in this program. So max is simply a function in C++ that will give you the maximum between two numbers. So like max, I will just show how max function works. If I write ans is equals to max of ans comma, for example 1. Okay. So in this you can see that we have initialized the value of ans with 0. So now I have finding the maximum of ans comma 1. That means maximum of 0 comma 1, which is 1, right? So I will just get the answer, the value of answer as 1. This is how max function works in C++. So I'm going to use max function quite often in this program. So I'll just write here ans comma. Now I have to find, I show you here, I have to find from starting city to this C, the and from last to C. Okay. So I'll just
Okay.
write C0 minus 0. Okay. Yeah. Did you get this? I will explain once I finish writing. And comma. Um, what can I do? N minus 1 minus C0. Okay. What I did here, C0 was my city. You notice here we took the input in C. So C0 is the city in which we have space station. And as I said, I have to subtract it from the starting city, which will obviously be 0 always, as question states. It is 0's index city that will start from 0 numbering. And since if there is 5 city, then obviously if we start from 0, then city will range till 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be always be, the last city will always be n minus 1. That's why in the next statement here, I did n minus 1 minus that C0, the city in which we have this space station. Like you see here, I did is 3 minus 1 basically. I did this 3 minus 1 and then I did 4 minus 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understood the distance part, but I'm not quite sure if I understand the max part clearly. Why do we need max? Or
Look, we could have two approach here. Like in 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
I could simply solve, like I could simply, like 3 was my space station. Now I could simply solve, I could find the distance. 3 minus 1 is 2.
yeah,
Then 4 minus 3 is 1.
yeah.
Now after solving this, I could store it in some variable or array. Then I could find max of these two. Then I'd get a value of answer as 2. Okay. But what I did
Okay,
is I am storing my answer in my ans variable every time. Like I
yeah,
get maximum in every time, in every operation. What I did in first operation, I did 3 minus 1, right?
okay,
So I got 2. Now I wrote the max function 0 comma 2 because ans initially was 0.
okay. Now I was wondering what's the point of the first max? Can you go back to the code once?
Yeah, this one.
Like, yeah. So yeah, what's the point of max in the line 12? I understand why we need max in line 13, but
Mm-hmm.
for line 12,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like just C0 minus 0 should work because answer is always 0. Unless we are going to convert this into a loop thing later on.
Okay, that might work here. But what if we
Okay.
have defense 0 only? Okay, like you are saying we should remove this max part, right?
Yeah.
So we get answer 2.
Yeah.
Okay, this will work fine here. No issue. Just I was trying to put a uniformity in my code that every time I put a max, I'll get a max answer only, and there is no trouble in some of the test cases if we have any other odd situation.
Okay.
Let's try this way. If we have any
Okay,
trouble, we can
but,
just edit
but
later on.
now things are getting clear because I was little confused with even with in the max function in the line number 13.
Okay.
But because of your explanation and then again linking that with this thing, I think it's pretty clear why we need that max thing. So we're
Okay,
comparing.
if it is confusing like this, I can simply go through the array approach also. Like I can store the values in array and then take the max of them.
Uh,
But that
I,
would
I I think I understand this.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we did two of our possible cases that we have only one station, and if we have only one city, right? So let's analyze what would be our possible other cases. Sorry, I'm just trying to delete this part so I get a space. Yeah. So yeah, now in this case, we see we have space station in our first city and space station in our last city. Okay. Now what we have to be careful is we are finding the distance between each cities, right? So 1 minus 0 will be 1, 2 minus 1 will be 1, 3 minus 2 will be 1, 4 minus 3 will be 1. So the first thing we can analyze is we need to find the difference between all the cities, m cities that has been given to us. Now doing that, sorry, I'm really sorry. I just find out, I should not find out this way. I should find out from 1 to 0. 1 to 0 is 1, 2 to 0 is 2. Now we should be able to analyze that we 3 is nearest to 4. So from 3 to 4 will be 1. Okay. So
Okay.
we have this. Now if we find out the maximum, we get 2. Okay. Now in most of these questions, if you go, like, we call this type of questions as competitive coding. Okay. If anyone doesn't know. So in competitive coding, most of the times we should figure out how can we make a particular formula to the questions. Like most of the questions we can make a formula. Rather than finding out everything, we can simply target a formula and then find our answers. Now here I will do is I will find, like, if our we have only two cities, okay, only two space stations, and they are in beginning and an end. So we
And
can
yeah.
see that ends, yeah. So if we can see that it is always this minus this divide by 2. Can you analyze this? Can you see this? Like if we have space station at our first city and space station at our last city, so
Yeah.
always the maximum distance will be these 2 minus by 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm what happened? Yeah, here it is. So I will try to put this condition also in my code.
Okay.
Else if now how to write that? First thing we need, we have only m is equals to 2, only two cities, then only this would work. M is equals to 2, right?
That's an interesting relation
Yeah.
to
And then
notice.
I will put another uh, condition also in this function, in this if condition only. Like I wrote m is equal to 2 for these two, and I said that this should be the first city and last city only. If this city lies anywhere else like 0 and 2, then my condition wouldn't uh, be valid. So I write this question also. So my c0 should be 0, right? And c1 should be n minus 1. Is there any confusion here? Why
No,
I wrote
I
this?
yeah,
And
I
also I want
understand.
to tell that we can use and over here because C++ 14, as I'm using this particular language, it supports and. Else we should have written and like this. So people might be confused why I'm not writing this ampersand and writing and itself. So this will support my and. So there's no problem in writing and. So
Okay.
if we have this, we will simply do n minus 1 and is equals to n minus 1 minus 0. So we don't need to do minus 0, or we can simply do n divided by 2. Okay.
Okay.
Now, sorry. Now we will have our final calculation. So these were just boundary conditions. We call it boundary conditions. So because if we try to solve this question in one particular algorithm and we try to implement for all, there might be possibilities that we might not get proper answer, or there might be possibility we take a lot of time, like running time. So we put this boundary conditions. So simply it will check if n is equals to 1. If this has it doesn't, if it will not, it want to go down to the code. So in one line our we get our answer. So if m is equals to 1, then again in one line we get our answer. Now let's figure out what will be our remaining code. Let's
Yeah,
begin.
in most of the cases, when you solve these online challenges, not only online challenges, I think I feel like in all kinds of algorithm you solve,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for most of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
um, like your main code is going to work, but there will be some exceptional cases where you'll have to handle it differently, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these two are the exceptional cases for whatever we're going to do right now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Also, I like to say that since I looked this question, I could figure out these things. Okay, in this question, but most of the times I might not be able to figure out, and then while going solving, then only I realize my boundary conditions. So it's properly fine if you don't realize this boundary conditions at the very beginning. It comes with the
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
So when you
And
practice more
also,
and more questions, when
yeah,
you look at the question, you can simply say, okay, this might be my boundary conditions, I cannot include that in my main code. But
yeah,
it's fine if you don't figure out that in very first attempt. You just go on solving and then realize, okay, I might have this odd situation in my code.
yeah. And I think, to be frank, if you're just trying to solve these kind of questions for the first time, you actually won't be able to find out this bounding condition at all, unless you are very lucky.
Yeah,
I would say that
exactly.
it takes a lot of experience with solving these kind of questions, to just think about these bounding conditions before you even start solving the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's move on. Let's take simple uh, array. One, two, three, four are my five. Okay, one, two, are my cities, and then I will put my space station in 2 and 4. Fine. Anything arbitrarily. Now let's see how can I put my algorithm. So
Maybe
as I
we
can
just
see.
start with
Mhm.
zero, because our city always starts with zero, so it'll be less
Oh,
confusing, I
okay,
think.
okay. Sorry. Yeah. So 0. Okay. So if I have two spaces and 2 and 4, now if you think over this, one of the good approach would be, like I have C cities, right? C space station cities, like 2 and 4 are C cities. Now we can simply go on subtracting every C cities. Now if I put, okay, for example, 5 also is my space station city. So I will go on subtracting every C city, like 4 minus 2, then 5 minus 4. So this would be the maximum distance for me. Is it or not? Are you getting me? I think not very clear.
I think I need some more explanation with this one.
Okay, okay. Look,
Bit
I
confused.
have 0 to 5 cities. That means I have total 6 cities.
Yeah,
I have a space station in 2, 4, and 5. Okay.
yeah,
Now what
yeah,
we can see is what will be the maximum distance between the cities. So obviously the maximum distance, if you can see, for 3 will be 1, either here or here.
yeah,
So if you analyze in another way, if you subtract two space station cities, that is 4 and 2.
yeah.
So if we subtract these two station cities, we get the distance between these station cities, maximum distance. Wait, still not clear. I will try to put some more more cities, and it will be quite clear. Okay, let's take this example. Fine.
Yeah, okay.
So what I'm saying is 2, 4, and 7 are my space station cities. What I will do is I will simply subtract all my space station cities and find out the distance. Like 4 minus 2, then 7 minus 4. I get a distance. And since I had nth variable, what I will do is I will do C was my number, the space station cities. If you remember, Ci plus 1 minus Ci. Now with this, I will get 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. and I will divide this by 2, because if you see, this 3 will either go here or this 3 will either go here. We need not to go both the ways. If we do 4 minus 2, we get the distance between 4 minus 2 is 2. And when divide by 2, we get 1. So it means it will go either one of way, not both the ways. Similarly, 7
Okay.
minus 4 will be 3, right? Now if we divide by 2 and we have done integer, we will get 1 as our answer. So you can see here 5 minus 4 is 1. This distance will be 1 maximum distance, and 6 have to travel maximum distance 1. So we get the answer 1. Did you get now?
Okay. I think
Or
I
if
get
you,
this. This is similar to the second edge case that we just figured out. When we have two stations, one in the beginning and one in the end, we divide it
Mhm,
by two, and then we
mhm,
get the maximum value. So now what we are doing is we are uh, in remaining of the cases we are applying same idea,
mhm.
but assuming that we have lot of other space stations,
Yes,
right?
yes. It might be
Okay.
possible. I could sense ki we could include that first test case in this, like first condition in this only. But let's see if we can do that.
Okay.
So how would I like to write this? Let's take a for loop. Int I is equal to 0, since I have to look out all the cities that have space station I plus plus. All right. Now in this for loop, what I have to do is I have to find the distance. So I will take the ans variable only and take the max. Okay. And then see, it's always going to be comparing the two answers. That's my previous answer and the next answer what I get from the operation. So max angst comma, it's going to be ci plus 1 minus ci. Okay. And obviously we have to divide it by 2. I'll put a bracket over here, divide by 2 and close this bracket. Okay.
Okay.
Now we get the maximum bit from all the space station cities that we have. Okay. So, but if you have realized, we have left one thing over here. We calculated distance between 4 and 2. We calculated distance between 7 and 4. But we left to calculate distance between 2 and 0 and 7 and 8. Right? Because we don't have space cities over 0 and 8. So after completing my for loop array, I would like to include these 2 points in my operation. So it will be like this. Ans is equal to max. Ans is equal to max. It will be ans comma. Mm, 0
Zero,
obviously minus
scissor,
0.
minus zero. Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't even do, okay, we have to do this. Okay. And similarly another will be c max comma ans comma.
And
Can you say
then
Roshan, what we have to include?
last element
Last element is n minus 1
and minus one. Yeah.
minus c.
Minus C. What
It will
should it
be m minus 1, because we have m cities, and since all the array starts from 0 index, so the
be?
last
Yeah.
element would be, if we have 4, m is equal to 4, then obviously it will be 0 1 2 3 up to 3 only array goes, so m minus 1.
Yeah.
Here also I would like to tell one thing more. Like, since I did n minus 1 minus c m minus 1, if it is confusing to someone, they can simply do like this. Okay, like they can simply go on c m minus 1 minus n minus 1. Okay, and then they can put here absolute value. Sorry, you can put here absolute value. Apps in this C++ gives you absolute value. For example, minus 4 will be 4. So when we compare the maximum and minimum, or we find the distance, we cannot have the negative value for sure. So we always have to use this apps, which gives us the absolute value. But rather than using this absolute value, I have just thought or processed in my mind which value would be greater, and I always get the positive value. So I have done like that, n minus 1 minus c m minus 1. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as you move on to the higher addresses, we are sure that we'll have. Oh wait. Maybe we should use absolute value over here because it's unordered pair.
Okay, very good point, Roshan. I just
Like,
forgot. Like, yeah, it's unordered. Like you can see in this example, sample input 1 6 6, and there is 0 1 2 4 3 5. Right.
yeah,
So even if you use absolute value, it doesn't make any sense because you might get the cities like this: 1 6. I'm sorry, very bad handwriting. 1 6 9 8 and 5. Now if you have these, what absolute value would work for you? I don't think it will work because it is uh, unarranged array. I'm sorry, it is unarranged array. So our solution would be we sort the array before we do any
got
kind
that.
of operation.
Okay.
So here I think, yeah, after I take the input, I will sort this array. So we have very simple function sort, and we sort function takes two parameters: the starting of array, which is a, and the last element of array, which will be a plus n. So it will sort the whole array. I'm sorry, it will be c since the my array is defined as c. Okay, c comma c plus n. So sort function takes two parameters: the starting index and the ending index. So that is c and comma c plus n, and so it will sort whole of my array. Okay. So yeah, shall we test our answer still here? If we get,
Yeah, I think we should just see if
yeah, we
everything
have been
is.
writing, but I don't know how much correct it is. So let's print out see out answer, and let's see if we get error or answer or anything else. Run code. Okay, we have got wrong answers. Output is this, and in second output is this.
Feels like we're getting some garbage
Garbage
value
value. Right,
as
right. We have to
out.
just go through this once. Okay. Uh, okay, let's analyze this test case only. Then we'll have better understanding why we are having that kind of answer. It's 5 2. Like we have five cities: 0 1 2 3 4, and then
And
we have space station at 0 and 4. That means here we have a space station, and here we have a space station. Now, so if we remember, we have exactly this case included in our code, that is starting and ending city have space station. So let's directly look out this one. This as if m is equals to 2, c0 is 0, obviously c0 is 0, and c1 is n minus 1, then we should print the ans n by 2. Okay, so we should get the answer n by 2. Let's put it here, see out ans once, and let's analyze we are entering in this test case or not. Hmm. Okay, we are not entering in this condition only. Can you see any errors, Roshan?
I'm wondering what. Can we scroll little up like in the input section?
Yeah,
Can
this
we?
one, right?
No. I mean like in the code section where we have
Okay,
done the input thing,
okay,
like in
okay.
line
Have you
number
not
4 or 5
taken? Okay.
in the editor.
Mhm.
Mm,
Okay, I have made the mistake here. If you have analyzed, we have an array
yeah.
of m elements, not n elements. So when we sort this part only, we have garbage value in rest of the arrays, like rest
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah.
index. So now if I do, I think I should get a correct answer. Okay, still I have wrong answer. Okay, I have two answers since I have printed here also. I will have to comment this line and then run the code. Okay, I have one correct answer and one wrong. So if we look at this one we got the correct answer 2, and in this we still getting some garbage value.
Maybe we might want to analyze this.
Okay, no, no, no. Okay, I just do you want to analyze once because I got what I did mistake. So it's I think you
Oh,
should
okay.
once look at the code and just guess
Okay.
what I
Sure.
have done wrong. Okay, I will for your convenience I will say the problem in this part only.
Okay.
I'll give you one more hint. Since you can see we are getting some garbage value because we have not done any operation that would give us this big value, right? So
Yeah.
obviously there is some mistake in our array handling part, which is obviously this part now, because here it is the one that we have handled the array with for loop.
Yeah.
So I think now you could figure out what I have done the mistake.
Is it that answer contains the maximum value in the beginning itself?
No, that doesn't make any difference because max is a function, and when we pass two parameters, it's obviously fine.
Okay.
Shall I say?
Mm, what I'm saying is, like, what if we just add answer equals 0 before the for loop?
Answer is equals to 0. That would okay, but
Have we
that
handled
doesn't
that?
make any difference, no, because we have already
Oh, yeah,
initiated the value
yeah,
here.
yeah. We
If
initialize
it
that.
doesn't
Okay.
insert any other conditions, it will come here only.
Let me check. Let me check. Just
Okay,
a
okay.
second. Is it area out of bound?
Yeah, it's
Because
add out of
m
bound. You are
m
near.
m
Yeah.
is 6 and n is 6, but we have I plus 1, right? So I
Yeah.
think the loop
Yeah.
should only go until m minus 1.
Yeah. So I will explain here what is happening is, for example,
Yeah.
this is the array only. So let's not take this array. Let's take this one. I have three cities, 1, 2, 3. This is the CI. Okay, I have CI this, and when I'm starting from zero index, that means this. All right, and
Yeah.
I'm in my operation. I have written that CI plus one minus CI. That obviously in every operation, like if my for loop reaches here, it will search for an element here because it is
Yeah.
Ci plus 1 and I don't have any element here, so the array has become out of bound here. So for to solve this, I will have to put m minus 1 here.
Yeah.
Now let's check. Okay, we got both the test cases right. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
if you look at this, we got 0 0 as our answer. Let's submit code and let's check. Like these were the two test cases that were visible to us, and when we submit the code, there are a lot of test cases which we have to pass. Oh, I didn't expect this. Like all of my test cases passed. So after I have
Oh,
passed
wow.
all my test cases, I get the 25 points. But before completing this, I would like to tell two more points that can make my code optimum. All right. So if we have just look at this example, 6 6, right? So obviously, if you see this example, you will know that our answer will always be 0 because we have equal number of space stations and equal number of cities. So why to go through all this loop? Because to find this 0 answer, our code is implementing 6 times here. I don't think we have to implement this code for 6 times, and we can simply add in between one more condition that else if
Yeah.
n is equals to m,
Well,
n is equals
m,
to
then
0.
it's all. Yeah.
So if, for example, like you can look here, the constraint is 10 to power 5. Now if we have n is 10 to power 5, m is 10 to power 5. Now why to run our loop for 10 to power 5 times to find the answer is just 0? We can simply put one condition, one line, and then we get our answer in one line. So now if even if I submit now, I would get my answer correct, I guess. Hopefully, yeah. So it makes my code much optimum. So this is just my approach. Now if any viewer of ours try to solve this on their own, that is highly recommendable without looking at this code. I'm sure they can find much more optimum code than this. So yeah, Roshan, do you have anything to say?
Uh, I just want to go before we end this video. I just want to go through the
Mm-hmm.
code and then see that I understand each and every bit of this.
I think some
Um,
will
so
be.
I understand the first case, the bounding case, n equals 1. When
Mm-hmm.
we only have one city,
Yeah.
the distance is always 0.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have number of cities and number of space satellites. If we have space satellites in each and every number of cities,
Mm-hmm.
then the answer is definitely zero. So
Yeah.
I understand that one. And then m equals 1 is, this is when we have only one space station in the
Yes.
cluster of cities,
I think
right?
even if we comment this, we will get our answer correct because I think we have included this condition in our last part. Let's try. Let's see. Okay, if we get answer correct. Okay. See. So this part, this else part only includes this condition. So we don't need to write this code extra. So this is how we can go on making our code optimum.
Okay, let me see why that works. If we go down to
Mm-hmm.
the last loop,
Mm-hmm.
is it the condition right after the loop that handles that case?
Yeah. So look, what I did in that, I said if m is equals to 1, okay, and then
Yeah,
I'm implementing these two operations. Now, if we
yeah,
look in this condition, if I have m is equal to 1 only, then obviously this for loop will run for once only, all right?
yeah.
And then after
I
that,
think it's not going to run even once
yeah, it will not,
because yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
it will run once because we have 1, no, m is 1, so it will run once. Okay, sorry, it will not run once because m minus
yeah,
1, 0 is not equal to 0, so it will not run once also. Then it will directly jump to this part,
yeah.
and we
And
have
that
written the
part is
same
simple.
code here, so it
Yeah,
works
exactly.
the same way.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting. And actually, now since we have included n equals m in line number 13, I'm not sure why we would do that, but even if we remove m minus 1, I think it would just work like in the line number 24. Now, if you remove minus 1, I don't think it will be array out of bound
No, no,
because
it will
we
be
have
array out
already,
of bound because we are
yeah,
using here I plus 1. So every when the loop reaches at the last element, last index, it will find
yeah.
for an element next to that index. So we don't have anything next to that index.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we
I,
always will have the
I
array
got
out of
confused
bound. Yeah,
between n and m. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So feels like while solving these kind of problems, because when I read the problem and then you explained the problem, I felt like, the way I was thinking how I could solve that problem, and then the way you solve this problem is entirely different. I was thinking like I would go and scan through each and every city and then make list of all the distances, and then I would compare the maximum among those and then store that in some other variable and
Hmm.
then get the result. And this
Hmm.
one looks like this is a completely unique approach. And then um, I just feel like, just to get this kind of thought process, you'll have to do a lot of coding and then get a lot of experience with this kind of problems, solving these kind of problems, so that you can think from different perspective. Because this one looks so amazing, like the pattern you found out between the maximum distance from any city to the space station.
Hmm.
So find out the first satellite city and then the next satellite city and divide by 2. I just found that amazing.
Okay, like here I would like to say, if I was solving this question quite some months back, I would
Yeah,
have like not included this divide by 2 in my earlier solution. Now I would simply do ci plus 1 minus ci. Why do I feel that? Because I was trying to find out a distance between them, but I would have not analyzed that if I have to travel from 2, or for example, like if I have to travel from 4 to 0, sorry, if 2 has to select any two of them, 0 or 4, it will travel either only one way, not both the ways. So that's why I have done that divided by 2. So it's just that when you solve these kind of questions more and more, you get this kind of tricks. I mean, when you solve, you know how to do them. So as you
yeah,
said, this is unique approach. Okay, this might be a unique approach or not, but even if you solve now on your own, I'm sure you will get much more optimum and very unique approach to solve this. So it's always very fun or interesting to discuss this kind of problems with one another and then solve together. We get really new ideas and kind of brainstorming things. So yeah, that's interesting.
And also the complexity of this problem looks like big O of m to me.
Yeah,
Is it
O
true?
of M to me. So if my, I would like to say this question once, OFM, what is OFM? Because I think if someone is very new watching this code, sorry, this video, they might not know. So in by
Yeah.
solving any this kind of questions, we have test best case and worst case. Like if we have worst case means maximum number of times that my this loop will run, like this for loop. Maximum number of times this loop should run. That is my worst case. And best case is like I have all things perfect, and this loop will run the least time. So we say on, which is worst case. So in this, if you see a maximum number of times this loop will run is m minus 1 time. All right, worst case scenario. So it will be O of m basically. So I think this code is quite optimum.
Okay, so whatever Keshav explained right now, I think that's also something very important that you have to consider when writing codes, because there are like millions of ways
Mhm,
you could solve one problem writing codes, right? But
mhm,
I think the main challenge right now is how complex your problem is, like how fast your solution can solve the problem, right? Because
okay.
the same thing that Keshav solved right now, if I had done with my idea, like the
Mhm,
previous ways, like find out
mhm,
distance
mhm.
between, I think it would be like more than n square, I guess.
Yeah, like since
More than n
whatever you
square.
said, I could just like get a little what you said, how you would approach this question. So I thought you will include two for loops, like nested for loop
Yeah,
inside for loop.
exactly.
So if you do that, just example, you have worst case scenario, and you can see here the constraint is 10 to power 5. That means your n can be up to 10 to power 5. All right.
Yeah.
Now if you do nested for loop, like let's see here, um, look for, I'm sorry for my handwriting, and then in nested for loop you have another for, right?
Yeah.
Now look here. If worst case scenario, this for loop will run for 10 to the power 5 times.
Yeah.
In, again, this for loop
That would
will
be
run for 10 to the power
10
5
times.
times. Now in nested for loop, we multiply these both because it will run for one for loop 10 to the power 5 times inside for loop will run. Then again for another, again 10 to the power 5 inside. So it will be run like this. So it becomes 10 to the power 10. Now I'm sorry, Roshan, but if you have done this solution with this question, while running this question, definitely this question will show you runtime error because we cannot go this 10 to power 10 times, and we have always a constraint of time. The time is most important thing in solving any question or writing any code.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was just trying to do some calculations. If we were to assume that if one operation took like maybe
Mm-hmm.
1 second,
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a lot. Like it would complete one step would be like 1 nanosecond maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
if we
I'm
just
saying, yeah.
do that in like, if we assume it's 1 second, then it would take this many minutes. I'm just doing few calculations just to give
Yep, please.
idea
I'm curious how much minute it will take.
on. So if it, okay, let me divide this by 365 again. So if it takes 1 second, I know
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot because it would just take a nanosecond, or maybe in the worst computer like microsecond, but
Mm-hmm.
we're just assuming one constant. It would
Mm-hmm.
take like in total, with my approach, it would take 317 years to solve this problem. With with
Okay,
with Keshav's approach,
Roshan,
with Keshav's approach,
can we simplify a
yeah,
little? Like since you said it would take kind of nanosecond, okay? So
yeah,
if it is nanosecond also, it will take 2 seconds. Like I'm doing very tentative calculation.
yeah,
It will take 2 seconds to solve all this question. And
yeah.
if you go through this question or this type of questions, you have to implement these in 1 second, not more than that. If you do more than one
Oh, okay,
second, then they have time at error. So obviously, even it is not years, 2 seconds is
yeah.
also a lot for this question, and it would give you time at error, timeout error.
Okay, no, but I
Mm-hmm.
completely understand that, and then also
Mm-hmm.
my assumption about 1 second is totally wrong.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now comparing your algorithm with mine would, with the time frame that I assumed, would, I think, give people more idea on how
yeah, yeah,
powerful
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it would be. Like Keshav's way, if we assume that one one cycle would take 1 second, it would only take 27 minutes to solve the problem, whereas my way
Okay.
would take like
Yeah.
317 years to solve the problem.
That's interesting. That is very clear insight. Yeah. Very, very clear. Interesting.
So yeah, I think it's almost 55, 56 minutes gone. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Kesab. I learned a
No
lot
problem.
from this video, and then I hope everybody whoever is watching this video found this useful. And then do let us know if you want us to cover some specific kind of algorithms that you are interested to know about. And we'll be making more videos with Kesab on similar kind of stuff. And then today we used this site, online coding site called HackerRank, and then there are tons of these kind of coding competition sites available, right? And then we might just switch between a lot of websites later when we make some other videos as well.
Sure.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Kesab.
Yeah. Thank you, Roshan, for bringing me here. That
All
was
right,
fun.
see you again,
Yeah.
Kesab. Bye
Sure.
bye.
Bye bye.